Countdown.
Ayun na. Share ko na. Yan, sinare ko na. Nag-join na. Rinig ba tayo? Rinig kaya tayo? Rinig tayo? Hindi tayo makapagtago. Rinig ba tayo? Rinig kaya tayo? And Junior Robles is here.
Okay.
Rinig na ba tayo?
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're here.
I have guest from the US. Junior Robles is here. And Junior Robles is here. Rinig na ba tayo? Ayan na.
Okay.
Hello guys.
Hello, everyone. Okay, we're here. Hi, it's John, and there's Win.
I'm Magsino.
And welcome.
Welcome to
It's Raw and Beyond.
Raw and Beyond.
Hi, guys. Okay. Hi, Jorge. Good morning. I know you just
How are you
woke
doing?
up, huh?
Oh, Jorge's here.
Yeah.
And there's Win.
I'm Magsino.
Welcome
The feedback.
to It's Raw and Beyond.
Raw and Beyond. Let's wait for other people to come in.
Yeah. Hi, Glenn.
Good morning. I know you just
How are you
woke up,
doing?
huh?
Oh, Jorge's here.
John,
Hinaan ko yung volume ko
Bro,
dyan
Nico.
sa,
Basta.
sa Facebook. Nag-feedback.
Ano feedback yung volume?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, so again, welcome to Raw and Beyond. This is an initiative between me and Win Magsino. We're doing this as to give back, and I think this is one of a unique platform that we're doing. We're showing the process from
The process, the image breakdown.
from shooting.
Yeah, basically, deconstruction, ano?
It's basically a deconstruction of our work. Yeah.
Weird.
So and
So question dyan,
mhm.
is this going to be a regular thing?
It depends on on the people. Like, we were planning to make this a series, an episodes, no? This is hopefully our first episode, and we are planning our next episode. It will be 2 weeks from now. Yeah, and then
We'll announce the guest later.
later.
At the end of the show.
Yeah, at the end of the show, we will announce our special guest later. So that's Raw and Beyond, showing you from our shooting process, behind the scenes, and how we came about the shot, how we selected the shot, and then most importantly, the flow of post-production, diba? So Win, I think a lot of people wants to know our post-production, and also wants to see the raw images that comes out from our Fujifilm camera. So this is going to be exciting. So actually we can start already. Win, you want to take it away?
I can start, no?
Yeah. Okay. So let's start with Win Magsino's image. Okay. So let me just switch to
share it.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see it now?
Yeah, it's there already.
Let's wait for the feed to be updated.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm scrolling through the comments now before waiting for Win to to begin.
Okay, so this is the first image breakdown. I'll just give a little info, a bit info about this shot. This was shot in 2017 in one of the busiest streets of Kyoto. I think this is somewhere in Gion district. Have you been there, John?
Yeah, I've been there with the whole Fujifilm team with the incentive trip. Yeah, but I wasn't able to shoot.
I think I saw your shots there.
Yeah.
And then this photo won international awards. Winner of Skylum 6-month mega photo contest.
Yeah, and
So
for
it
that,
won me a trip to NY
yeah.
and shoot with Magsino. And it also won silver award in WPPI in Las Vegas. I think you
Yeah.
also joined there, right?
Yeah. I saw
It
your
was also
videos.
featured in National Geographic.
Galing, dami ha. It's yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a proud owner of the one of the signed prints of this image.
So about creative process, it's always for me. It's always about vision. Showing the invisible to others.
Mhm.
The end goal is always to create what I see in my head.
Mhm.
So that's always my creative process.
Mhm.
And then of course I look inspiration from other works of photographers.
Mhm.
I remember I first saw this location from Elia Locardi.
Mhm. The great
So I
Elia.
was really inspired with that shot. No?
Mhm.
Um, so there, that's a little info about it. And then execution naman, I'll share BTS
Yeah. BTS will be
there.
good. Wow, set up. Okay, galing.
Um, can you see that now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like what I've said earlier, no, this is an iconic spot. So it's very popular,
Mhm.
not only for regular tourists, but to photographers as well.
Okay.
So prior to going here, I knew it would be challenging to shoot this, and to get a clear shot without people in the frame,
Mhm.
with all the tourists coming in and out of the frame. So I knew it was challenging, but you know, if you have a plan, there's nothing impossible, no? If you have
Mhm.
a plan.
I really
So
wanna know also how you maneuvered your shots with all those people there.
so what we did is we arrived 2 hours before the sunset,
Okay.
just so we can pick the best spot.
Mhm.
Knowing the Japanese people, they're very polite. I was thinking they won't set up in front of us.
Mm.
So true enough, they set up behind us.
Oh.
So yung mga dumating, no, they
Yeah.
set up behind us. So, and then if you notice here, uh, this shot, hang on, this shot, I chose a low angle
Mhm.
shot, no.
Mhm.
The reason is so uh, whoever is shooting behind me have a clear shot.
Okay.
So
So that's
uh,
a
so
that's a
so
etiquette for shooting
etiquette,
behind.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
That's good to
para
know.
hindi lang ako yung nag-enjoy.
Okay.
And then if you notice, uh, well, the plan is to shoot as much as frame as possible. So
Okay.
I have enough information to blend in post.
Mhm.
Because there are a lot of people, right?
Mhm.
So when people move from one spot to another, an area gets emptied.
Yeah.
So those emptied areas per frame, that's what I was planning to blend in post.
Okay.
So that was the plan, no?
So before
Uh,
anything else, I want to know the camera behind this photo.
so I set up two cameras.
Okay.
So one shooting vertical and one horizontal. So the vertical shot, I was using the 1024 mm,
Mhm.
and then the horizontal shot, it was, I think it's the 1655 mm.
Mhm. Okay.
So I was shooting simultaneously,
Oh,
with these
really?
two cameras because because of limited time, no.
Oh.
This is the only time we can shoot this, so I was making sure I get all the necessary information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so for 3 hours, I was capturing assets, no?
Mhm.
Asset is the term we use in advertising. Actually, my background in advertising influenced my approach in photography on how I operate in the field. Like for example, before we used to shoot a lot of muna yung asset. What is asset? It's basically elements that I shoot that I can use to complete the photograph. No?
Okay.
So for example, we used to shoot a lot of model homes for a real estate company. Sometimes they ask us to shoot incomplete projects, yung mga raw houses, no? And they required us to submit as if it was complete with all the landscape and all. So I was trained to shoot assets, no?
Okay.
Yeah. Are you familiar with that, John?
Yeah.
Yung asset?
My term for that is backplates, I think.
Backplates, yeah. Yun. So, let's move to breakdown na.
Yeah. Go ahead on your.
Okay.
So that's the first
What else
process
pa ba?
of how you captured it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was using pala, if you notice here, I'm using like a clamp. It's RRS. Really tough clamp, no?
Okay. I think I have it here. I think.
You also have.
Yeah, because I saw this shot before and then was thinking, what kind of clamp is this guy using?
So there. So post-processing. So basically I was shooting bracketed shots, no? So 3 shots bracket, no? So in post-process, I use Lightroom to call images.
Okay.
And I also use Lightroom to yung initial color matching. So ito siya yung mga frames. So like what I've said, the people moves, one gets emptied, no? So I was collecting those yung mga emptied areas that I can blend in post.
Okay.
So every light changes, I was able to capture every light changes.
So I have a question. Is it very critical not to move the tripod? So you must be using remote trigger or?
I was using a remote trigger. Yeah.
Okay.
And then prior to going here, I knew cars pass through here. So I positioned my tripods strategically. Na the cars can still pass through, no, without me moving the tripod.
Okay, so there's cars passing by. I didn't notice that. Okay.
And so as you can see, there's lots of tourists.
Wow.
Very impossible to shoot this unless you go back here. If you have extra time to go back here early in the morning.
No, at this time, pandemic time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but since we have limited time, I had to make the most out of the situation. That's why, that's a plan, to shoot as much frames as possible.
Nice.
Okay. So yan siya. So as you can see, the light changes, yung color balance changes.
Okay.
Yung main problem. That's the main problem, no?
So that's what you blend in your raw conversion. You try to tweak it there.
To tweak it, to color match as close as possible.
Okay. How about your exposure? Do you happen to change it while it's getting dark? Do you adjust?
I set it to auto. I think I set it to auto at the time.
Okay. So
the only mistake I made was I set the color balance to auto.
So it was changing.
Changing.
Yeah. Okay.
So yan siya.
Nice.
So now in Photoshop, so I chose around, I think, 5 images to blend.
5. Okay.
5 images to blend. So let's go to Photoshop. This is where the magic happens, eh, Jan.
Yeah.
You know it. So I chose this as my base plate, my base shot, no?
Okay, so question. Oh, how do you like decide on what to choose like as a base image?
Base image,
Yeah.
simple lang.
Okay.
This shot has the least photo in the frame, so
Okay.
that less people in the
Less
frame
people,
means less work,
Mm-hmm.
less cloning work, right?
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of issue that needs fixing
Okay.
here, like I'll mark it. This one, the photographer
Yeah.
at the corner, and then another one here, and then there. Yeah, at least it's ano lang eh. There's a few people,
Mm-hmm.
so less work in cloning.
But on the way you choose your base photo, it's also the photo that you think might be the closer one to be on the like the final image also, right?
Yeah, I base it on the difficulty
Difficulty
of
difficulty level.
the cloning work.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So these are the issues now, the people in the frame,
Yeah.
and then this branch here, I find it distracting.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the overall color balance, I lost the color contrast
Mm-hmm.
because the artificial lights
Mm-hmm.
are intense. So even if I adjust the color balance in Lightroom, the result is not just it's just not the way I wanted. No. So another thing is the the lantern here. So it's all overexposed. And
Yeah. It's overexposed, yeah.
last, syempre yung sky, boring sky. And then the color of the Goda. I lost the color contrast. Basically everything I lost the colors, no. So first thing I did was to clone the people frame. So from this frame, after cloning, yan siya. So before and after.
Okay.
So very easy.
Kung ako yan, like I would look for a frame that that's an empty spot. Parang it's just easy mask.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no? Kung meron, no ba?
That could work also.
Yeah.
Mm. And then the next thing I fixed was the sky tower.
Okay.
So I brought back an earlier shot.
Mm-hmm.
So back the colors now. So there, this is the shot that
okay.
I blended, and siya there. So before and after.
Okay.
So the highlights are more toned down here compared to this one. All right. And then the next one is to fix this the branches here, because I find it too distracting. So I think I used the healing tool here.
Okay.
Because alam mo yung the tricky part here if you use the cloning tool, because the color changes eh. So it's very hard to use the cloning tool here. So for me, the easiest way is to use the healing tool.
Okay.
So from there to here. Yeah. So hindi mo ako ng puno.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
How long did that take?
Okay. So I was working the whole day for this branches.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Talagang worth it, ha?
So, yeah.
This
Malinis
picture
na,
won a lot of awards.
Mm-mm. And then some basic color dodge and burn.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, very lang siya, minimal. Minimal effect. Yan. Actually, dito lang siya nga nag-effect. Eh. There. Alright.
Okay.
And then, of course, the lanterns naman. The lanterns, that's it. Shots, so I can recover details from the lanterns.
Mhm.
So I brought back low exposure shot.
Okay.
Yan. Yan siya. Okay.
So how do you accurately mask the highlights? Do you use like
Use,
luminosity masks or
yeah, luminosity masking.
okay?
So, luminosity masking and the curve adjustment layer.
Mm-hmm.
Yan, yun siya. So, I was able to fix the overexposed lanterns, no?
Mm-hmm.
With this one, no? There's details here, eh?
Nice.
This part, this area. I was able to tone down also this part of the image.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also details there, no?
Okay. Yeah.
And then after that, I brought back the colors because
Okay.
it's warm, eh?
Yeah.
So I brought an earlier shot also. So from here, yan siya.
Okay.
See the difference? Even the highlights were brought back. Eh?
Yeah.
In the roof. So I lost the contrast here in the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And back. And same in this side. Yan. So brought back the colors.
Nice.
Yan. Basically sa roof yung highlights.
Mm-hmm.
Yan. Here, the foreground. Ayan.
Wow. Okay.
When I tried to adjust the color balance of this file, no, I was able to get this effect. So that's why it's
Okay.
very useful yung blending, time blending.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then next one is the sky. I find the sky boring.
Yeah.
So I brought back the sky from the golden hour.
Okay.
Okay. So there.
Nice.
And then I needed a human element. Eh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Make it
To
complete.
story.
Yeah.
So brought back. There's a female. There's a lots of actually female passing by wearing kimono, but I chose this one.
Nice.
So the crucial thing about compositing is you really have to understand how light works, how light and
Yes.
shadow,
Yes.
right?
So that
To
it
make
would
it
not look
believable.
realistic. Yeah. Yeah.
Like how the shadows fall off, no?
Yeah.
Yung like for example here, closer to the girl, it's darker, and then it's
Goes-
going light.
Yeah.
Yeah, shadows.
Looks
It's very
realistic.
important to have a solid understanding of how lights and shadow works.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then final adjustments, more on contrast and vignette.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically it.
Wow.
So from here, before and after.
Beautiful. Perfect balance. No?
Yeah.
So it's about also about like putting in balance from all the pictures that you captured.
Yeah.
Through-
That's
through-
strategic part actually.
Yeah. Okay, we have some questions here. So I'm just gonna pick. It is from Ken.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's a lot of
So
work
that,
on this photo. How long did it take you for retouching it?
I think
How
it
many
took
hours?
me. I worked on this photo on and off.
Mm-hmm.
So it took me ship around a month, yeah, around 3 weeks.
Really?
So on and off,
Wow. Oh, on and off. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
on and off.
It's good to know, huh?
Sometimes I get tired of it. I
Yeah.
get
Then
tired of
just
it, and then
leave it.
I rest my eyes. Then I leave it. No.
That's good.
Then I see more mistakes, more issues, and then I'll
And
fix it
then fix it
again,
again.
and then I'll take time off again. You know.
And then there is another one from Ate Inday. How many pictures were used in the end?
Um, Around I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, around 8 photographs. No?
8 photographs. Yeah,
8 photographs.
it's good. Very nice. I'm just scrolling through the questions now. So is it Yasaka Pagoda? Is it called Yasaka Pagoda?
Yeah, it's Osaka Pagod.
Okay, from Del Rosario Jan Herald,
It's somewhere in Gion district.
Ion District. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
good.
It's really interesting to see the breakdown. I'm really amazed. And the number
Yeah.
of hours that you put into your work is really like, it's
And I use a lot of layer adjustments
mm-hmm.
just to blend everything together, just to marry everything,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
colors and the contrast. Yeah.
yeah. It's
So a lot of masking, a lot of cloning, a lot of layer adjustments.
but you've also experienced, like, for example, you use eight photos, and then there's one photo that's kind of you touch the tripod, and it's kind of out of alignment, but you need to use it, so you have to fix it. Have
Yeah,
you experienced that?
yeah. In Photoshop, yeah, it's really easy to fix it. And using the there's a feature here called where is that? Auto align layers.
Uh-huh.
So I use that.
So even if it's slightly
If there's misalignment, yeah,
misaligned,
I
yeah,
use it.
due to
Mm-hmm.
tripod, you kicked your tripod just a little bit, or
Yeah. Or sometimes if it's just minor, I use it. I adjust it manually
okay.
using the color blend mode difference.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
you
what I
can
use
see, yeah, to align
to
perfectly
align it
align.
manually. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, great. It's really
So
good to see that. Yeah, if you can see a lot of question. Okay, good question. Camera and lens user win. Alvin Manuloto.
I use the XT2, Fujifilm XT2 and 1024 mm.
Wow. Okay.
Actually, I wrote a detailed parang breakdown
Uh-huh.
coming out.
Okay.
By Really Right Stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So it's a Really Right Stuff website.
The magazine, their annual magazine.
All right, online
Yeah,
magazine.
it will come out sometime in August.
Oh,
So it's my detailed workflow.
wow. No, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Okay, so guys, if you have questions, some more questions for
Uh,
Win.
bef- Before I forgot pala, we're giving away 3 licenses of Luminar 3 later
Three,
at
huh?
the end of the
Three.
show.
Wow,
Yeah.
good. Sige.
So better
So-
if you join the conversation.
Yeah.
We'll pick from the comments.
Okay, so we're just speaking in the comments. So, guys, yeah. All right. So, little more on this. Okay, there's another question. Can you talk more about the color grading process in this photo? Good question.
Basically, for color grading, I use the color balance, curves, a combination of color balance, curves, selective color, HSL.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I play around
Okay.
to to refine the color.
So it's going to be like by feel in the end.
Yeah, by feel.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm. If it talks to you, and then that means you're done.
Yeah. And Jorge, I was a question. I want to know more about the color grading too. Yeah, he's interested to know about the color grading. So that's it. That's
So
adjustment layers. No?
yeah, that's basically adjustment layers, combination of adjustment layers
Mhm.
and color balance. Yeah, temperature
Okay. So in the end,
by
it's
probe
going to be by feel.
by feel. Yeah.
Yeah. So if just like what I do, like for example for you also, if you edit this in another day, it might come out differently,
Different.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because your mood changes.
Yeah. Mood change. Not only for women, but also
Yeah.
for
Also
photographers.
for photographers.
Oh, nice.
So have you tried? There's another question here. Have you
Yeah.
tried editing with Photoshop on the iPad Pro? I
Not yet.
haven't yet.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for it to
To mature.
become like the full version. Yeah,
Yeah.
to mature. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it's really like I think it's still streamlined for now. There's a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
that's not
Missing.
there. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
missing. Especially
missing.
if you go to advanced editing, like fixing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
make your life easier. So it's not yet found there. So
Mm-hmm.
for me also, I'd like to edit it first in the desktop. Yeah,
It's easier. For now, it's easier. No?
yeah. It's really like yeah. Okay, so I guess it's my turn. Is it?
Yeah, it's your turn. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so all right. Let's go back to Win later for your additional question. So it's my turn. So I'd like to share my screen now. There. So
15 minutes.
yeah, it was fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my image. This is capture one. This is the raw image. So I throw everything in capture one first. So I do all my gallery stuff in capture one. Like my process is from my SD card goes directly to the card reader and then open up capture one and then let capture one do its magic in doing
Mm-hmm.
the what you call this, the library catalog.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see in the side, this is how I save my files. So it goes into OneDrive. Usually
Mm-hmm.
before GFX, it was like 1/4 terabyte in 1 year, a little bit over, or maybe just but when I started using the GFX, it's kind of like changed. So maybe 2 4 terabytes, or like that. So this is how it looks. So the changes that I made for this one is only in the high dynamic range area. So on this part.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be like the highlights. I tamed the highlights just a bit. I don't know if you noticed this part of the image, and then the shadows, I brought it up a bit just to get more shadow details.
So basically, basic color correction.
Tonal
You do it
correction,
in
yeah, tonal correction. Actually,
tonal
yeah,
correction.
I didn't touch the white balance. As you notice, it is by Kelvin. It is kind of high. It's 59. I'm usually shooting at
Yeah.
63 in my camera. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
that range 62, 63. I do Kelvin, and I just like my images warm to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah, parang that's my go-to setting. And
Mm-hmm.
then good thing about capture one now is it reads the film simulation of what you're using in your camera. For this, I use the GFX 50S. This is the settings here. ISO 100, 1/60, f8, 64 mm. I think I was using the 63 to 32 to 64 lens. Yeah, 32 to 64 lens for this one. And I don't know if you noticed, this is 60, 1/60 shutter speed, because I'm dealing with constant lights. The one here in the Fresnel, the motor charts on Fresnel, and the lamp. So I was trying to catch this continuous light. That's why my shutter speed is kind of low. It's not over 100, and it's not even 100, 125th, which is the flash sync speed of the GFX. So, so this shot is a balance of the flash and the continuous light that I have. Okay, so there's I think an RE 1K tungsten inside the motor Richardson. So
Question, Jan.
yeah,
How do you also call image in
capture one.
in do you what's your process on choosing your image?
Okay. My process is also like you, by feel. The most like it's mostly by feel. The maybe in another day I might choose another one, but today, if this is what I feel like, it's nice, it's balanced for me. It's a little. I mostly look on the expression, the composition. So those things. Something like, there are also times that I choose like really off, like I don't like the composition, but I really like the feel of the image. So I end up really like choosing that image. I don't care. That's because I like it personally. Okay. So it's a personal choice. Like for this set, I just marked them 5 stars, and actually we started with this layout. Later on, I can show you the BTS. This is a very old set of mine. I've used this set over and over, like multiple times. So I was not kind of happy on on the way it looked. So it has a light outside, and I was really like, okay, I think I can really improve this. So at an instant, while shooting, I had to call off the model like for 10 minutes. I need to adjust something, so I brought in a gravity backdrop, and I just placed it over the backside, just to cover the light, and I transferred the light behind it on the side, this side, the left side. Okay, so I'll explain more of that later. So yeah, this is the first layout that I was looking at, but I didn't feel anything when I shot it, so I changed the setup. Instant decision, and then now I'm gonna go to Photoshop. Okay.
How many photos do you take per session?
Yeah, it depends actually. It really depends. It really depends
Until you get it.
Yeah, I think
Until you're happy.
Until I'm happy. I look for something in an image, and if I get it in 2 minutes, then I'm happy, then it's done. Maybe just get a little variation if I have more time. But it's more or less by feel. So this is the setup actually. It's just lit with 3 lights. It's not really complicated setup. At this part, maybe this is the part where where the gravity backdrop was hanging. So it's gonna block the
light.
The window. So and this light also here at the back, I transferred it here for the final shot. Okay. There's a reason for that. Okay, so let me move on to my first frame. This was my first frame. So as you can see, I was dialing my shutter speed to get most of the ambient light. This is the
Mhm.
weakest ambient because this is just a bulb, like a 20 watt LED, warm LED bulb on the lamp. So I got this first shot and then I settled, okay, this is my shutter speed. And then this is my second shot. Now, my light originally was
Mhm.
here, right? And then I transferred it here. Reason for that, because this light is not powerful enough to cast some sort of a s- a rim lighting here. So I'm just mimicking that this light, this lamp.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as you can see, it doesn't cast anything if I leave it
Mhm.
with that. Okay. So when I put the model, okay, I'll need another light just to fake it.
Mhm.
So ito na yan. This is the light here. It's a
Yeah.
pro photo.
Subtle, very subtle, no?
Yeah, very subtle lang, very subtle. And
Mhm.
then it's positioned like um maybe about 90 degrees maybe so. And then it's outside the set actually. Why it's not inside? Because it's gonna be seen on frame. So it's more editing on me
Mhm.
on the end. So I placed it there and it's a Profoto B1 with large umbrella, diffuse large umbrella. So
Yeah.
so this is the point
Mhm.
here, adding that light and then getting this rim.
Mhm.
And
Question, John.
yeah,
Do you always do that? Test light one by one,
yes, one by one should be one by one.
and then.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
gets very confusing
To
if
see
you
the
only
effect.
yeah to see the effect. So mostly
Mhm.
I begin with establishing the ambience, the total ambience of the photo. But for this time,
Okay.
maybe I knew what I was looking for. So I was like, okay, so let me set up this first. This light is going to
Yeah.
cast a light on the model for sure. So I placed this strobe
Mhm.
here just to fake it. Next frame was
Mhm.
this one. Okay, so the light there was the umbrella on top, the overhead umbrella.
Okay.
Okay, so what it does is it just gives me a little shadow detail.
All
Okay.
right.
The reason why I rarely put my fill light in front, because it first there's a big chance that it will cast a shadow on the model because
Mhm.
it's front.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's gonna cast a shadow at the back no matter what, how you control, or maybe in a low power situation maybe so it will not. But for me, I like the feel when it's coming from the top. It looks more natural, like the sun is above us, so it looks more
Yeah.
believable, like
Yeah.
especially for fill lights. The only
Mhm.
one drawback for this kind of setup is you lose catch lights. That's the thing.
Okay. For the eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
eyes, especially if you don't have
Mhm.
a main light that's really low. So that's why I
Mhm.
also put some another light, putting it in front just to for that catch
For the catch
lights.
light.
Yeah. So what it does is the overhead light is just putting in just enough amount of shadow details. You can see there's this detail without destroying the ambience that I was looking for. Okay?
Okay.
So as you can see it here in the balloon. It reflects already here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mhm.
So this is my overhead light right there. Okay? So next, with my main light. Ready with my main light.
Mhm.
So as you can see, my main light is positioned outside, maybe around 45 degrees to the model. It's a
Okay.
47
Oh,
inch,
nice.
yeah, octa, and then gridded octa. So the reason for the grid is to control the spill of the light. As you can see, it's very accurate. It really like went into the model's face. this side,
Mm-hmm.
minimizing the spill on this side. So it's really like concentrated on her. So that's
Yeah.
what I like about grids.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about it. That's about the shooting sequence for this shot. It's really like very simple, and this is the final
Mm-hmm.
layout. And the balloon came later on because actually it was not planned. Okay, I know that I'm
Okay.
gonna shoot her like in a dollhouse, in a creepy dollhouse. I call this a photo Matilda X. I forgot the other horror movie. Okay, and then I had fly a balloon just hanging out in the
Mm-hmm.
studio. We don't have helium to put it, so we cannot, you know, we cannot put it up. And then
Yeah.
last minute, I thought, okay, we had a lot of frames that were the models holding it, and then
Mm-hmm.
I thought to myself, yeah, it's nice, but you know, it's okay. It doesn't add anything to it. Why can't you
Mm-hmm.
try tossing it? Okay,
Okay.
so she did that. Maybe just three
She's
times.
tossing this.
Yeah,
She tossed this, no?
yeah. No composite, just
Mm.
timing and a little bit of luck. The third time pack, we got
uh,
it, and then this is the final
uh-huh.
shot. Yeah, this is the one we called. This one I called that I found nice. I picked this because of the hand gesture.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
balloon is almost level, so it's for me it's kind of really balanced. The only
Balance. Very
thing
balanced.
that I didn't like was no, I had to fill this up because of my set is just like 8 feet,
Uh-huh.
just
Yeah.
8 feet lang siya. So yeah, I had to fill that up. It's okay, just getting the
Mm-hmm.
shot, getting everything right. The Fresnel 1000 watts here, and then she's holding the rope here. So for me, everything lined up. That's why I chose this shot. So
Mm-hmm.
now let's go
Yeah.
to post.
So how many lights again did you use here?
Three lights lang. One
Three lights. Yeah.
here, one all three pro photo lights, one umbrella at the
Mm-hmm.
back, maybe a large deep umbrella, diffuse deep umbrella, for rim, simulating this lamp as
Mm-hmm.
rim, and then I had an overhead umbrella for the ambient fill, and then I
Mm-hmm.
had my main light here. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to go now to the post production. Okay, so this is my layers. I'm gonna go through one by one. Okay. So this is the background. This is the raw shot. Okay. So what I adjusted in capture one is only highlights. I tamed the highlights a bit, and then the shadow
Yeah.
just raised it a bit for more shadow detail.
Mm-hmm.
So the next layer is I extended the backdrop. So here to there. Okay.
Yeah.
Most
Mm-hmm.
probably in the edit part of this, I did this like a blank layer and then just cloning tool and other
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I just you can do it just like quickly, and then maybe I merged it later on to another layer, so I can really go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then next I have frequency separation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what I don't fix in a cloning healing, I fix in
Frequency.
frequency separation. I
Mm-hmm.
usually use the cloning and healing first if I can get it there because it's faster. Because in
Yeah.
frequency separation you had to deal with the high and the low, right? The
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
texture and the color.
The color.
So you have to
Yeah.
move back and forth, and I don't like it. I hate it. I just use it for the things that needs fixing. Like it's really hard to use it on a clone stamp tool.
The
So
cloning.
yeah, the cloning. So
Do you use it mostly on skin?
well, not really. Not
Not really. Yeah.
actually. for the frequency separation.
Yeah.
No, not entirely lang skin. I use it on the skin, but
Mm-hmm.
it has a lot of uses. You can use it on fabric, you can use it on hair, you can use it
Mm-hmm.
everywhere actually.
Anything with texture.
Anything with texture, yeah. If you want, if
Yeah.
those things that's there's a lot of texture and then there's a lot of color blended together, you can break it
Mm-hmm.
up in frequency separation. It's easier
In
to
frequency.
fix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
easier to fix that way. And I use the median as my low.
Uh-huh.
I seldom use the Gaussian blur.
Gaussian blur.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
reason
Re-
it has its own advantages and disadvantages.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but for my kind of work, I sort of find the median more advantage than the Gaussian blur because of the edges. You can go near the edges
Okay.
without blurring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure you
Mm-hmm.
use that also in
Yeah.
landscapes, right? Yeah. So this is what's inside my frequency separation. I have my high and I have all the texture here and the colors here, my
Mm-hmm.
cloning here, and then I added my dodge and burn layer here. I seldom use this just in case I
Okay.
need to really brighten some parts. But for this image, I think
Yeah.
I didn't use this. I didn't use this. Okay, for this image, I used it on the hair and the balloon. Okay, so let me zoom in.
Okay.
Okay, so it's in the hair and the balloon. So in the hair, it's like this. Because we used a wig, so the hair is kind of like really off, like really fake.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to
Yeah.
fix it here. So that's the fix. And on the balloon, I tried to get rid of the shadow of my overhead umbrella.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
my main light. My main light is here. You can really see it. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's my fix for my frequency sep layer. And then next I had a hue and saturation layer. So this is by
Mm-hmm.
eye now. I was editing by eye. So if you try to look at it, it was applied somewhere in the hair.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's here. I tried to add color because the original one didn't have color because as I've said, we used a wig, so it's kind of all black, so
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't really
Yeah.
connect. So I tried using a hue saturation, put a little color to match,
Yeah.
and
So
then
basically, you're just eyeballing the colors.
yeah, eyeballing the color.
To taste.
Yeah, to taste.
Adjusting it to taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next I have another hue and saturation, and let us see where it went. Okay, top part of the head. Here, still on the hair. Maybe I found
Mm-hmm.
something here that needs correcting. Let me turn this off and turn it on. Okay, I think I desaturated it just a little bit here on this part. So again, it's by eye.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I just tried to edit it by eye. And then base grade. Okay, this is where I color grade. Okay, so again, depends on feel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this time I you know in another day another color, another day another color. So this
It
day,
changes.
yeah, it changes. I found this match. So usually what I do, adjustment layers, hue and saturation, curves, still masking
Mm-hmm.
parts of the subject. So same thing, and color balance. That's the usual color grade that I do, and I also
Yeah.
use ICP, Infinite Color Panel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
image,
Question,
yeah.
John. On the actual set, do you decide on what the model should what the color of the dress of the model and the background?
Actually,
Do you complementary colors?
most Mostly, I talk to my stylist and I give them idea of what I want, and then when they arrive in the studio, and I see it, and then that's the time I match it. So
Okay.
I have a couple of choices of gravity. Thank you, Mimi, for sending me a lot of gravity backdrafts to choose from. So every time I have a shoot, then I can just this model will look good on this backdrop. And you're right.
Yeah.
I use color.adobe.com a lot to mix and match colors.
Yeah. To find the complementing colors.
Yeah, complementing colors. So the next layer I copy merged, and let's go back to this oniric. Okay. So I add the next layer is adding lighting effects. So that light bloom on the existing light. As you can see here.
Yeah.
This is handmade. Just brush and adjustment layer and
Yeah.
color blending. Okay, lighten
For the glow effect.
yeah, depends on the effect that you want. So for this, I just want a little light bloom. But a friend of mine, Mario Olvera from Mexico,
Yeah.
created this plugin, the Oniric plugin.
Oniric,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a glow generator. So it's a very nice plugin, and I just tried it. Yeah, I tried it today. I just wanna see the difference on what Oniric can do with this image. So I tried.
Compared to the manual one.
Yeah, compared to the manual one. So this
Yeah.
is the one that Oniric gave me. So subtle, and it's you can actually tweak it. I tweaked it. So it came out like this. So honestly, I love what the Oniric did. So it's more
Yeah.
it's more natural looking. It's more balanced, and the good thing about Oniric glow generator is that you can choose the color. You can mask.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can mask. You can mask the highlights that you want. You can render it separately. You can render one layer for this one and another layer for this one. So it's very very useful. So going
Is
back,
it the same as infinite color panel,
no, actually it's
where it generates random effect, or you can still tweak it
you can
right?
tweak it.
after generating
Yeah,
it?
you can tweak it. Actually, I can try like let's try to generate. So you can see. Okay. Okay, so it's sometimes just go a little bit slow. So especially when I'm running the eCam live for live stream, just so you'll see the UI of Oniric for those of you guys
Okay.
who are interested on the plugin. Shout out to Mario OM, Composite Nation.
Hello, Mario.
Yeah, Mario, if you're watching, I know it's pretty early in your country now.
You should guest him here.
Yeah, we should guest him.
I saw some of his breakdown.
Yeah,
It's
it's really good, huh?
really awesome.
It's
Yeah.
really okay. So this is what Oniric looks like. Okay, so it's diffused and there's a streak. So you can choose two different variables, diffuse and streaks. Okay, so for this one you cannot use streaks. Streaks good for cars and headlights. This one is just like
Okay.
yeah. So and then this is your adjustments for the intensity.
Does it generate rendered layer?
No, it detects
Oh.
it detects the highlights on the image. Because you have an
So it create-
yeah, for example,
It's adjustment layers.
yeah, you have
Yeah.
he placed, and it's just really brilliant. He calls it X-ray. So these green things here are the highlights of this image. Okay, so it generates from there.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's really nice because it
So it
finds
detects the highlights.
yeah, it detects the highlights and it generates from there. Just
Ah,
in
nice.
case,
Uh-huh.
just in case you don't, yeah, like for example, there's the face. I don't like to generate something in the face. I can just use a mask.
Mask it.
Yeah, I can just
Okay.
I can just
Nice.
I can just mask it like
Mm-hmm.
yeah on what highlights I'll include. So
You can be selective.
yeah, I can be selective. So it's really nice. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So it's that, and then now it's actually generating just so you see the the interface, and then there's colorize. You can even color on the glow. So you can choose.
Yeah, you can play around with the glow.
Yeah, you can choose blue, and then you can just pump up the saturation. So this is Onirik. It's a
Nice.
very
Yeah.
very nice plugin
Very
for
nice.
Photoshop. Yeah. Okay, so let's cancel it and let's move forward. Okay, so for now I'm just gonna leave that and go on with my light effects. Sir, what plugin is that? We have a lot of questions now.
Do you have the URL, Jan, of Oniric?
Yeah, yeah.
Where they can
I
where can
think
they
I
purchase
have
it?
it. Like Composite Nation, like
Compositation.com.
yeah, compositenation.com. And yeah, this is my account. And there, this is the homepage for Oniric. Compositenation.com. Here.
Yeah.
So that's plugin of Mario there. Okay, so
Is it a subscription-based plugin or you own it? One-time payment.
One-time payment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one-time payment. Okay, so
Nice.
yeah. So let me address some questions before we proceed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Junior Robles has a question.
Yeah. So where is that? Junior
So,
Robles.
What is your process when it comes to light metering? Or do you eyeball it by free?
Okay, I
By
don't.
field, by field.
Yeah, eyeball it. I don't use. Even though I have a light meter, I don't use it. So eyeball. I do, as I call it, MM.
Yeah.
Mata metering. Okay. Another question.
Here's another question, Jan.
Yeah.
So do you ever have experience with banding when using mirrorless and LED lights on low light and fast shutter speeds?
Okay.
Do you still use DSLR camera or mirrorless all the way?
Mirrorless all the way, actually. Ever since the GFX 100 came out, I never looked back to.
Look back.
Yeah, I still use the XT3, XT4 for certain jobs because it doesn't require the 100. But for all the stuff that I think needs future proofing, I always use the 100. I can always resize. And regarding the banding, yes, if you edit in 8-bit mode.
8-bit. Yeah.
Yes. I explained that on the webinar that I did for Fujifilm. Shout out Fujifilm Philippines. Thank you for the support always for me and Win.
Hello, Fujifilm.
Yeah. And yeah, your camera always shoots higher than 8. So it's better to, if you plan to edit it, use 16-bit. Never use 8-bit.
16-bit.
Yeah.
How about the color profile?
Yeah, it's just have more colors, tonal values, and color depth. Big difference. Yeah.
How about color profile, Jan? What do you use?
Adobe RGB.
RGB.
Yeah, Adobe RGB. The largest the camera can capture. So again, future proofing, and you get the most out of the colors of what your camera captures.
Yeah.
So this is the question. Yeah. Yeah. And LED lights on low light speed, fast shutter speed. Do you itong LED lights, I think the flickering of the light, I think is what he meant for that. I think certain shutter speeds you'll see some flickering. It's just shutter speed. Go lower than 60 and it will be gone. Yeah. And some good LED doesn't have that. You won't have that problem. Okay. Okay, so Junior Robles. Hi, Sir John. There's another question. Is the set production same importance as lighting setup? Yeah, I think so. But I well, it depends. The set really, if you really, produce something and like you must light it properly just to 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 no, what's the term, to give justice on the set that you build. So
Mm-hmm.
it goes hand in hand. You have a good set and then you don't know how to light, or you have another
Yeah.
taste in lighting, so it changes. So I think it
Mm-hmm.
goes hand in hand, but lighting you have to really learn it. Okay, so let me proceed first because before further questions. And next, I placed a level layers. So what I did here was, I think I just brighten it a bit. Let me just pull in my levels so you guys can see. Okay, this is levels.
Yeah. Overall levels, right?
Overall, yeah. So as you've
Mm-hmm.
noticed, I just pulled this back. This is 255 normally. I look at my
Mm-hmm.
information here and I know it's kind of dark or it's kind of bright. So for this
Yeah.
image, it was kind of dark. I'll try to turn it off. Just a little bit dark for me. So I noticed when I
Mm-hmm.
put in levels, I just brought in this slider here to 250 where this value of the highlight is present. So
Uh-huh.
that's the way I look at the image of how bright it is, tonal value. Okay, so that's for the levels, and then next is hue and saturation again. So for this, I
Mm-hmm.
played with the reds because I found the reds here is kind of pale. So
Yeah.
I played with it. This is my mask, very rough.
Do you use luminosity masking also, Jan, if you want
Yeah,
to adjust selectively?
mostly I use luminosity masking for exaggerating highlights in the face, on or not just in
Okay.
the face, or just anywhere in the picture, like you taming the
Mm-hmm.
highlights, pulling the
Yeah.
shadows. Yeah, but for
Mm-hmm.
this I use I
So
just
do you do it manually, or do you use plugin?
no, actually I was before I used to do it like every time, go to my channels and then build one by one, so it's really
Yeah.
time
Uh-huh.
consuming. And
Mm-hmm.
the bad thing with that, we're using alpha for that
Mm-hmm.
kind of technique. And
Technique.
now
Yeah.
Greg Benz, I think Greg Benz created
Uh-huh. Lumens.
Lumens. Yeah, now I use Lumens.
Lumens. Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm. It's lighter compared to the
yeah, because it
alpha.
this is Lumens.
Mm-hmm.
So it's created by Greg Benz here. It's, you can buy it through his website. You can just Google it. It's yeah.
And update is free,
Yeah, update
right?
is free. Luminosity masking. You can also, yeah, you can target
Mm-hmm.
luminis luminosity
Luminosity.
yeah, for that. So now hue and saturation for the reds. So I adjusted the reds, and again I did an eye fix. So I just pulled in a curves for that.
Mm-hmm.
So very subtle here, just to
For the
show just a
eyes.
little bit, yeah, for the eyes, and then I emphasized more on the catch light here, so it looks a little bit alive. And then the next one is a liquify fix. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
by this is again by feel. So I felt like
Yeah.
the hair was sticking out there at the back here, this part. If you notice this
Yeah.
part. So I
Mm-hmm.
just liquefied it a bit, pulled it a bit inside. just to do a
Yeah.
little, make it more balanced. So for this, I think you also need to learn about anatomy. Balancing
Mhm.
of how big is the head to the, you know,
Yeah.
because no model is perfect. And next, sharpening. Okay, sharpening. Um,
Do you selective? Do you do selective sharpening, or you do
Seldom.
it overall?
General depends. If there's a portion that's really sharp, then I
General
mask
sharpening.
it. Yeah, but if not, more or less
Mhm.
90%
Yeah.
general sharpening. High pass. I do high pass filter sharpening. And then lastly, I add grain. Okay, so
Okay.
the way I add grain is going to camera raw. Okay, so
Mhm.
filter camera raw, and I add grain there. If
Okay.
Yeah, because it looks more natural. I don't know if you notice it. Okay, but let's do an off. Okay, and then on. Very subtle.
Yeah.
And that's it for this image. It's very,
Mhm.
yeah, this is
How can you tell if the editing is done already?
um actually, if you're satisfied for that day.
Yeah.
But when you wake up the next day, you're not satisfied, then you have to edit again. So this is before, this is after. So this is before and after. Okay. So let's go to the questions. I think I saw it when Jan was showing the photo we capture one. From Don. Hi Don, you're coming here. Thanks for coming. Dropping by. GFX 100 user here. Very good, also a portrait photographer. Don Jose Davis. Jan, when you use infinite color panel, which options do you use? Do you use all options? Good question. I don't use all
It depends on.
options. It
Yeah.
depends. It depends on the
Mhm.
image. And mostly I use
Yeah.
lookup table for contrast. And
Mhm.
maybe what you call this, gradient. Forgot the term for that. Sometimes um,
So it really depends on the look you're after, ano, John?
yeah, it depends on the
Yeah.
look. What the look that I'm after. It really depends. But
Ah.
I don't.
Mm.
I seldom use all the tweaks there. Yeah, very very good
Yeah.
question.
And
Thank you,
then
Don.
and then you can just dial down the
Yeah,
opacity for the
dial down the opacity.
for the intensity of the effect.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so how were you to realize when you how were you okay, this is from Ariel. How were you able to get through details of the eyes when you took the shot? Oh, if you're using a GFX, then it's that's not a problem. Oh, JKL is here. Wala bang giveaway ang Onirik? Oy, Mario, shout out to Mario.
Shout out Mario.
But we have for Skylum.
Yeah, yeah, for
Uh,
Skylum.
yeah.
Merong question dito dyan. Available ba yung ano dito sa atin? Yung gravity backup?
Actually, it's not, but you can order. They have the website, gravitybackdrops.com. You can order,
Yeah.
they ship it to you. Or, yeah, you can
Mhm.
course it through me. Either works. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so.
That's a good breakdown, John.
Thank you. So, that's it for my breakdown, and I think
Mhm.
we need to proceed on. Thank you for the raffle. Do you have it now?
Yeah. So may question pala dito for
Okay,
me.
sige.
So, from Popoy. The shot
Yeah,
was done on a single day or you came back several days to get the shot?
that's for
It
you.
was
Yeah.
done in a single day.
Okay.
Because it's really hard to do it the next day. The position of the tripod is different.
Mhm.
So it's really hard to match it. It was
Yeah.
done in a single day.
Okay, so we move on to while you're raffling, I'll scroll on through the questions.
Travel tayo.
Yeah, for beginners, here is a good question. For beginners like me who's struggling in doing some post processing, Can you give advices on how we're going to approach color grading, white balance, etc. in post processing? Is it much better if we uplift the colors to the photos we take? Much appreciated. Okay, good question actually. I'll answer first. For me, I always shoot with 90%, 95% Pro Neg standard. The reason, it's the flattest image, film simulation that Fuji has. So what it gives me is like if you're doing film, you're shooting like log. So I put in all the colors in post. Depends on your on how you approach it. If you want to if you want to if you want to do like SOOC, like SOOC, straight out of camera, then you can skip that. You can just, if you're using a Fuji, you can just use the film simulations of Fuji,
Mhm.
right? So yeah, so processing gives you,
Pero
yeah,
may ano ako dun dyan, may i-add ako dun
okay.
sa post-process, sa color grading.
Mm-hmm.
I think you really have to train your eyes, right?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
The more you do it, the more you'll know what colors you like.
Okay, yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And then look for like influences.
So that's my take.
Yeah.
Influences
Yeah.
of color grading.
Yeah. I'm telling him to look for good influences, like photographers that you like, and then why they grade it that way. So you know you learn from them.
Yeah, tama.
Yeah. So that's not always a good reason to bump up everything in camera and then just tame it right after if you're planning to do post production. Noy, Tahay. May plano ba kayong pumunta ng New Zealand in coming years after this?
Sarap dun.
Sarap. We wish. We hope.
Yeah. Hopefully after this pandemic, when it's all over.
Good question. Yeah. Sir John, which photographers influence you the most? Okay. For commercial photography, I always look up to Eric Almas. Very good in composites and color grading. And
Okay, so
for Renaissance, I look at the work of Recuenco, Eugenio Recuenco. Yeah. So just let me know when, if you're done with the. Do you want me to put up your screen during the raffle, or I can I can put up your screen if you want.
I'm still figuring out how this works.
Okay, so I'm scrolling through questions now.
So I have to log in here, Jan.
What here? What?
In the random comment picker. No?
You have to press that and then log into your.
Do I have to log in?
Yeah, log into your account. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I have to log in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sige.
Comment picker. Ano pa? Sino pa yung mga questions dyan?
Okay, so plug in. We answered that already. I'm scrolling through the questions. Okay, from Ken. John, will you retouch a set of photos in the same day as you said, different day, different color mode? Okay, good question. Depends on the time. Mostly nowadays, like I retouch my photos in longest maybe 2 hours, 3 hours the most. And then if I had series of photos, then I make sure when I edit that it will be applicable to the other photos, so it will be faster and more consistent. So it can be in another day, but I'm gonna use that set already that I used for that edit set. Okay. Hi Jam. What was the lens you used for this shoot? The 32 to 64 zoom lens. GF32 to 64. And I use the GFX50S.
I think you have to do it dyan pala, sa comment picker.
Oh, me?
Because we're running it in your account.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The live, yeah.
Okay, so can you give me the link for that? Okay, so...
Okay.
Nice, lantaw.
Sino ba yan? Ito, may question dito dyan. In making the base layer similar to Win's photo, can we shot multiple photos and use the median function to remove people in the photo and use it as a base layer? Is it possible? Ano yun? Median?
What's that again? I didn't get that. So let me first choose the winner for our Luminar contest.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, so you can scroll some questions, Win, and maybe you can answer it.
Sige. Do you regularly calibrate your monitor? For me, siguro every 3 weeks.
Oh, tiyaga ka, ha?
Every 3 weeks.
Yeah, for me, maybe every 3 months. Kind of lazy.
Every 3 months?
Yeah. It is. Sometimes it's as long as I can remember.
Because our monitor notifies us, diba?
Yeah, actually, it's true.
If we need it, we need to recalibrate.
Yep.
So it's kind of annoying. That's why I calibrate every 3 weeks.
Okay, so
Do you use monitor color calibrator? What OS? What is the best one? We use this one. Wait. The i1 Display Pro.
yeah.
It's test out.
Okay. Okay, while I scroll through the Win, you can answer more questions from.
Ano export set nyo sa Capture One? Nandito ako sa daming recipe.
Ano to?
Ano raw ang export setting nyo sa Capture One? Nalilito raw siya sa daming
Okay.
settings.
That's a good question. Actually, I just right-click, edit in Photoshop, 16-bit, teeth. That's it.
So is that the default
No, actually,
setting?
you can choose 8-bit. You can use.
You can choose
You can
ano,
do JPEG. You can do whatever you want. But if you want the best, you get
Format, no?
Yeah, you get the 16-bit TIFF.
16-bit Pro Photo RGB or Adobe RGB.
Adobe
It's
RGB,
good.
yeah. Adobe.
300 DPI.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's it.
So this is the post. Okay.
So where can we purchase the i1 color calibrator? Meron ba mas distributor dito?
I1, no,
Philippines dyan?
I'm not sure if there's a distributor
Yeah,
for I1.
I ordered mine in dhphoto.com.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So we are actually almost here. Let me share the screen.
okay.
Okay. So it's here. We're gonna raffle off the first winner. Start. Okay. Pot Mercado Victorino.
Mercado.
Yeah, I'll screenshot it.
Okay.
Okay, and pick another one.
Alright. Sana ako.
Sana ikaw. Yeah, use a virtual hand na lang. Raul Junior Arsusena.
Alright. Yun. So yung mga napili namin, just message us, no? Your email address.
Yeah.
And then last one.
Last one. Virtual hand, win yan ha. Nag-click. Sernan Gelogo.
Yes. Yun.
Okay,
Congratulations.
congratulations.
Our winners.
Yeah, for our winners,
On
congratulations.
Luminar 4 license. Eh.
And yeah, this is Raw and Beyond first episode.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, we
Well,
are planning to do another one in June 17, 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now,
Yeah.
no?
And
Who is it?
we have a special guest actually. It's it's actually Mr. Pratik Naik, Solstice Retouch.
Pratik Naik.
Yeah, so
Uh-huh.
it's going to be
He's a
very
he's
interesting. Yeah, very
mhm.
good.
He's a
Now photographer and retoucher.
high-end retoucher,
Yeah,
right?
high end retoucher. So
Based in the
in the
US.
U.S., but now
Uh-huh.
he is in I think in UK with his wife, Bella. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's
Nice.
for the next episode, Raw and Beyond.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So it's again with me, with Win and me, and
Yeah.
invite some guests. That's gonna be Pratik. Okay. So
Mhm.
this is
Yeah.
our goal for Raw and Beyond. We try to invite foreign photographers as well as local, and
Local.
yeah,
Mhm.
and we tend to pick their brains to show
Mhm.
us how they
Sana.
how they do their shoots from shoot process to post production. Okay?
Post process. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, okay. Any last words, Win, for this episode?
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed our first episode. Very raw talaga. There's no rehearsal.
Oh, no rehearsal. Yeah. No rehearsal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Very raw.
sige. Ano pa? Any more?
I hope you learn something from this session, ano?
Yeah. Okay. So,
And it's really an honor to do this with you, Jan.
ay, same
Mhm.
actually. I've been looking at your work ever since hindi pa tayo magkakilala, and I really appreciate it. I really saw something special in your work and your eye, and yeah, you're you are a one hell of a good photographer. Okay, so
Thank you, thank you.
yeah, for me, I hope you guys stay safe, and I hope you learned something from Raw and Beyond, from me and Win. And
Mhm.
until the next episode of Raw
Thank you
and
for
Beyond,
joining us.
thank you for joining us. Peace.
Yeah. Peace. Bye.
Bye.